Hey folks, welcome along to lesson 132 and a really good morning to you. We have another long lesson ahead of us today, so we'll get stuck in and we'll just take a little moment just to land, arrive, become fully present, bringing the hands together into prayer pose or pranam mudra, it's called in yoga. Helps to bring about a sense of balance and grounding. And so that's what we're doing. And we can hold our hands in prayer pose as we make our offering. We begin this day in gratitude. We open our hearts to love. We ask love to lead the way through the minutes and the hours of this new day. We welcome joy, fun, and abundant prosperity. We recognize that all encounters are wholesome and that all experiences can be met with a peaceful heart that is anchored in the truth, that we are one, that we are love, and that we are free. And so we release these words and we let it be. Okay, so here we go. Lesson 132. I loose the world from all I thought it was. It's a funny way of using the word, I loose the world. So it's like I untie the world. I free the world from all I thought it was. And you could say I loosen the world, but we're completely untying it and freeing it. So what keeps the world in chains but your beliefs? What can save the world except yourself with a capital S? Belief is powerful indeed. The thoughts you hold are mighty, and illusions are as strong in their effects as is the truth. So that's really important to recognize that the thoughts you hold are mighty and illusions are as strong in their effects as is the truth. So that's why it seems very, very real, because they're very strong in their effects. But we have the power within us, within our true selves, to release them. A madman thinks the world he sees is real and does not doubt it, or a mad person. Nor can they be swayed by questioning their thoughts' effects, so the effects of their thoughts. It is only when their source is raised to question that the hope of freedom comes to them at last. So what we're doing is raising to question the source of the thoughts that we have. Yet is salvation easily achieved, for anyone is free to change their mind, and all their thoughts change with it. Now the source of thought is shifted, for to change your mind means you have changed the source of all ideas you think or ever thought or yet will think. You free the past from what you thought it was, and you free the future from all ancient thoughts of seeking what you do not want to find. So this is really, really powerful. I'm going to read that again. You free the past from what you thought before. So all those thoughts you had in the past, you can free them now. You free the future from all the ancient thoughts of seeking what you do not want to find. So you release the past from the present and you no longer project that into the future. The present now remains the only time. So God is in the moment. Here in the present is the world set free. And you're invited again and again and reminded again and again throughout the course to live in the now. Power of now, be here now. So, for as you let the past be lifted and release the future from your ancient fears, you find escape and give it to the world. You have enslaved the world with all your fears, your doubts and miseries. Your pain and tears and all your sorrows press on it and keep the world a prisoner to your beliefs. Death strikes it everywhere because you hold the bitter thoughts of death within your mind. The world is nothing in itself. Your mind must give it meaning. We're back to those very early lessons. Everything has all the meaning that we give it. Each thing only holds the meaning that we give it. And what you behold upon it are your wishes acted out so you can look on them and think them real. Perhaps you think you did not make the world, but came unwillingly to what was made already, hardly waiting for your thoughts to give it meaning. Yet in truth, you found exactly what you looked for when you came. There is no world apart from what you wish, and herein lies your ultimate release. So this is where this looking is warranted. This is where this searching is warranted. This is like questioning. You know, what are my thoughts? Where are my thoughts lying? What am I thinking about all the time? Because that's what I'm getting. So change your mind on what you want to see, and the world must change accordingly. Ideas do not leave their source. This central theme is often stated in the text and must be born in you if you would understand the lesson for today. It is not foolishness which tells you that you made the world you see and that it changes as you change your mind. So we really want to drill this home. You know, we want to take on this idea, even if right now you think it's crazy and you don't believe that you're projecting what you see. Just say, for example, you kind of go, nah, I don't believe it. Well, the invitation is to start to really entertain this idea, you know, to be willing to believe the fact that you create your reality and to have that willingness to shift your perspective to one that rests in love, and just to literally change your mind on what you want to see, and the world will change accordingly. Ideas do not leave their source. So we move on. Yet it is foolishness that argues that you have come into a world quite separate from yourself, impervious to what you think and quite apart from what you chance to think it is. There is no world. This is the central thought the Course attempts to teach. Not everyone is ready to accept it, and each one must go as far as they can to be led along the road to truth. They will return and go still farther, or perhaps step back a while and then return again. So sometimes as we're on this path to peace or this awakening and our world begins to fall away, which is what is going to happen, the world you now see is going to begin to fall away. And the ego gets a little scared sometimes and it starts to grasp. And sometimes we hit the pause button. And that's okay. You know, it's recognizing that that's part of it. Healing is the gift of those who are prepared to learn there is no world and can accept the lesson now. Their readiness will bring the lesson to them in some form which they can understand and recognize. So you can ask for this. You can ask, like, let me be able to see the truth with ease and with grace. Some see it suddenly on the point of death and rise to teach it. Others find it in the experience that is not of this world, which shows them that this world does not exist, because what they behold beyond this world is the truth, and it clearly contradicts the world. So I suppose experiences like that might be to see a vision. But sometimes we, experience a miracle sort of beyond our wildest dreams, and suddenly we realize, gosh, there's way more than meets the eye, these eyes. Some will find it in this course and in the exercises we do today. Today's idea is true because the world does not exist. And if it is indeed your own imagining, then you can loose it from all the things you ever thought it was by merely changing all the thoughts that gave it these appearances. So we can simply untie it. The sick are healed as you let go all thoughts of sickness, and the dead arise when you let thoughts of life replace all the thoughts you ever held of death. That's such a powerful statement, and this would have been how Jesus would have created miracles. You know, when he looked at Lazarus, he would have seen Lazarus alive and well, as opposed to focusing on a dead body. Similarly, when he looked at people with leprosy, he saw them without leprosy. He looked beyond, he looked to the spirit that was alive and well and free. And, you know, so if you're ever praying for somebody who is physically appearing unwell, you would see them well. You would see the fullness of their spirit and the wholeness of them, and they will get well. So this is what's guaranteed when we truly dwell in our Christ consciousness. Now, a lesson earlier repeated must be now stressed again, for it contains the firm foundation for today's idea. You are as God created you. There is no place where you can suffer, and no time that can bring change to your eternal state. How can a world of time and place exist if you remain as God created you? So we're back there to ideas as well, leave not their source. We still exist in the mind of God, and that's where we dwell forever. What is the lesson for today except another way of saying that to know yourself is the salvation of the world? To free the world from every kind of pain is only to change your mind about yourself. There is no world apart from your ideas, because ideas do not leave their source, and you maintain the world within your mind in thought. Yet, if you are as God created you, you cannot think apart from God, nor make what does not share God's timelessness and love. Hence, it's an illusion. Are these inherent in the world you see? Does it create like God's creation? Unless it does, it is not real and cannot be at all. If you are real, the world you see is false. For God's creation is unlike the world in every way. So the current world we see is so unlike God's creation that it couldn't possibly be real. And as it was God's thought by which you were created, so it is your thoughts which made this world and must set it free. So this is the power of the illusions. They're so powerful, and we've made them seem so real that only us that created them can set them free, that we may know the thoughts we share with God, so we may return to love, return to truth by loosening the world that we made. Release the world. Your real creations wait for this release to give you creatorhood, not of illusions, but as God in truth. God shares God's authorship with you who are God's child, for God makes no distinctions in what is God's self and what is still God's self. What God creates is not apart from God, and nowhere does the Creator end. The child begin as something separate from God. So there's no degree of separation whatsoever. There's no beginning and no end between you and love. There is no world because it is a thought apart from God and made to separate the Creator and the child and break away a part of God's self and thus destroy God's wholeness. Can a world which comes from this idea be real? Can it be anywhere? Deny illusions, but accept the truth. Deny you are a shadow briefly laid upon a dying world. That's such a powerful statement. You think you are a shadow briefly laid upon a dying world. We're asked to deny this now. Release your mind, and you will look upon a world released. Today our purpose is to free the world from all the idle thoughts we ever held about it, and about all living things we see upon it. They cannot be here, no more can we. For we are in the home our Creator set for us along with them. And we who are as God created us would loose the world this day from every one of our illusions, that we may be free. Begin the 15-minute periods in which we practice twice today with this. I, who remain as God created me, would loose the world from all I thought it was. For I am real because the world is not, and I would know my own reality. So we desire to know this, we want to know this, this is why we are here. Then we're going to merely rest, alert, but with no strain, and let our mind in quietness be changed, so the world is freed along with you. You do not need to realize that healing comes to many far across the world, as well as to the ones you see nearby, as you send out these thoughts to bless the world. But you will sense your own release, and although you may not fully understand as yet, that you could never be released alone. So we're never healed alone, we're never released alone. Throughout the day, increase the freedom sent through your ideas to all the world, and say whenever you are tempted to deny the power of your simple change of mind, I loose the world from all I thought it was, and choose my own reality instead. So we're going to drop in for a few minutes. I remain as God who created me. I who remain as God created me would loose the world from all I thought it was. For I am real because the world is not, and I would know my own reality. I'll mind the time, and you can just gently close your eyes down. When you're ready, gently bringing your awareness back. I had some lovely imagery come to mind there, and it was of the world like a balloon, just seeing like a globe with a string tied onto it, and all the war and all the madness and all the things that we see in the world, all contained within that image that we have made, and being able just to set that balloon free, that globe free. And then in replacement, seeing only love. And what I saw were visions of an airport at Christmas. I don't know if you've ever had the experience of being in an airport at Christmas, but it can be really, really special seeing people greet their loved ones as they arrive home. I find myself very teary-eyed when I go to collect my children at the airport at Christmas and watch what's happening all around me, as well as within myself, as I open my heart to the return of loved ones. See you tomorrow.